Hey everybody, Soapbox Bill here. Me and Adam just saw Thor Ragnarok, and what a way to end the month.
Yeah.
It was a really good movie. Way better than Dark World.
Infinitely better than the original.
Original wasn't that bad, but
No, but I mean, comparing this one to the original is like comparing like Shakespearean theater to a good comedy.
yeah, we're gonna keep spoilers out of this review, so spoiler free. But it very much did learn from the. Let's move up a little bit from the. All the lessons learned from all the other Marvel movies, taking all of those into account, and taking some of the styles. There's a lot of jokes, little humor bits, and everything, and all in all, a very fun romp. Very fun.
Yeah, it was. This will probably be my third time getting to view this. Really, I was really trying to keep it just to one viewing, but.
He's a movie freak. He loves seeing movies.
And I hate when I miss like big chunks for whatever reason, whether I'm going to get a refill on my popcorn or if I'm stopping off for a bathroom break and I come back and I feel like there's a big chunk that I missed. So it kind of takes a couple of viewings for one reason or another. But this one, it's definitely enjoyable the second and third time around. I didn't really find myself getting bored with it.
Yeah, and there were a lot of little details, little things, nods.
Yeah, it definitely
a
chucked.
couple of fourth wall moments, but they were very kind of tongue in cheek, which
There were
worked
definitely
very well.
there were definitely a lot of Easter eggs to not just previous Marvel films, but the mythology of Thor itself. A lot of the source material and
Some of the legends, some of the lesser known characters coming out of the woodwork. It's a good movie. It's leading up and into Black Panther, which is next year. It's a very solid movie and shows what one of the mainstay Marvel heroes can and should do in a standalone movie. I'd say this one ranks up there with like the first and second Iron Man.
most definitely. I mean, I'd say it's like I said, action wise, I would definitely say it's almost on par with Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
A lot of well choreographed fight scenes. The special effects were beautiful for a lot of the magic attacks, and
there is something that this movie did, and like I said, this is relatively spoiler free, so it's not going to ruin the experience for you. But this one actually had a much better soundtrack than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which. In our previous review, I did say that the Guardians Volume 2 soundtrack was a little bit on the weaker side compared to Volume 1. But this one,
I really enjoyed the soundtrack. I did enjoy the soundtrack.
I mean,
What were they using for Thor's theme again? I can't remember.
They were using "Immigrant Song" by Led
Yes.
Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin.
And it was like
perfect.
It definitely it had us kind of bobbing our heads to it the whole time. The soundtrack for this movie was relatively small compared to some of the other ones that try to sneak in.
It only had maybe 10 tracks max.
But what it did have that it used a lot, and I didn't get bored with it. And it actually kind of kept up with the pace. They had a lot of good, almost pseudo 80s techno music playing in the background. Very
good. There was some good audio mixing. Very good audio.
Yeah, it's like Daft Punk if it wasn't so mainstream.
Yeah,
but it definitely helped with the pacing. Like you would hear this music and almost be like, "Oh God, what's happening? What's happening right now? Oh, they did this. Oh, they've done that."
They kept the pace up. While there were lull moments, the pace was still going, even if it wasn't an action scene.
Yeah. And like I said, for the first time, I mean, I'm kind of scratching my head at this one. It's really late, so my brain is not exactly functioning at its best right now.
It's also cold. If you
Yeah.
haven't noticed, I'm wearing a hat. It's a stormtrooper hat. Very nice.
But I do believe this might actually be the first Marvel movie since the inception of the MCU where the lead villain was actually female. Now I might be wrong on this one. I mean, I don't know if you count. I don't know if you really count Guardians Volume 2 with the
With Nebula and
with the
Ronan.
with the sovereign system.
The big villain of that was Ego.
Yeah, I mean, she, the leader of the sovereign nation, the planet full of golden people. They
She
were
was
more
a
like
side character.
yeah,
at
she was more of
best.
she was more of like what could have been Ego's henchwoman.
Yeah.
But I think this is the one where we actually had a lead female villain, and I may be wrong on this one, but
I think you got it, because I'm looking back and no, this is, I think, the first, and she pulled it off very well. Hela is a very intimidating,
I'm sure you have all seen the internet memes going around Facebook and social media about like before coffee and after coffee, using Kate Blanchett from Lord of the Rings to Thor Ragnarok. I gotta say, maybe this is getting a little too personal, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it anyway.
am I gonna regret you saying this on my channel?
Probably not.
Okay,
it's
go
like
ahead.
I say, she totally pulled off the kind of goth look. I mean, the first trailer that I saw her, I was like, dang. Who would have thought Kate Blanchett would look hot as a goth?
Yeah, if comparing it to Suicide Squad, it's like this is a toned down Enchantress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Not so much with all the finery and all the clinky bits and
yeah, and it's funny. It's funny that you do mention the Enchantress, because that is probably the second best.
best known
female.
of Thor's villains, and she's a
Yeah.
female but conspicuously absent.
Now-
Even though her sister was in Shield,
Yeah, it's
Agents of Shield. She was in the first season.
it's weird, but I will say this, and this could be not really. I'm not really counting this as a spoiler, but you'll probably notice. I'm not afraid of the knuckle crack in there, but
I just have joint issues.
oh,
it's cold.
here I thought you were. No, this
Go on.
yeah, this is completely spoiler free. If you remember any of the previous characters from the last two Thor movies, you might notice that they're not in this one as much as they were in the previous two. But that also leaves a nice little segue in for new characters from the Thor mythology. And one of the ones I will say, one of my favorites, Scourge, the Executioner.
Yeah, which is weird. He's in because he's usually the henchman of Amora, the Enchantress.
Yeah.
But a lot of those other characters being absent gave us a lot of really funny and really awesome Thor Loki moments. So that was really good. How would overall? Let's wrap it up and overall thoughts. Final thoughts.
Okay. Final thoughts on this one. It definitely falls. It now falls into the category of this installment being better than the original. And like I said, they're two different ones, but this one definitely surpasses the original with its hilarious but serious overtones that it produces for us. And it's definitely a noteworthy piece to add to your Marvel collection. And honestly, it kind of makes me want to see more. Like, I kind of want them to do more Thor movies, but without so much Thor in it, if that makes any sense.
Very much. As far as I see it, great way to end the Thor trilogy. Really great to see Hulk again. The main characters that they bring in, just the dynamic of them is really funny, really entertaining. Seeing Mark Ruffalo on like this other planet and he's freaking out a little bit. It was a very funny movie. If you're a fan of Marvel, if you're not a fan of Marvel, if you just like really good movies, I recommend this highly. And Adam, if you could step out for a moment, I'm going to take care of some housekeeping for the channel. I'm going to be posting this very soon, and I just wanted to tell everybody that I'm a little sorry for not posting as much on fanfiction and on here. Work's been hella busy. See what I did there? Yeah. Just if you've been following the news, you know everything that's up, and I just get exhausted. I spend all day in front of a computer typing and writing stories for the TV station I work at. When I get home, the last thing I want to do is sit in front of a computer and type. I'm going to be trying to get better. I've been working on my stories, so hopefully I'll have something out by the end of the year. Also, I am going to be doing what I call DC Ember. I'm going to be reviewing a whole mess of DC animated shows and movies. Mostly movies, but I'll throw in a few of the classic shows in there as well, giving my thoughts. Look forward to that. That's going to be going through the whole month of December. Also, this will not be me and Adam's last parking lot review of the year. No. We got tickets for opening night of Return of the Jedi. Not Return of the Jedi, Last Jedi. Why am I thinking Return of the Jedi? Whatever. But we've got tickets for The Last Jedi. We're going to be doing that right after the first showing, right after opening night. So look forward to that. It's going to be awesome. Hopefully, I have seen nothing aside from the posters. So we'll see you there. Peace out, Internet.